Welcome to my channel and this Pilates Fundamentals class. I'm recovering from an ankle sprain, so I wanted to do a class that was gentle, that would connect me to my center and help me feel strong again. This class is great not only if you're recovering from an injury or a beginner, but even if you're more advanced and you want to deepen your practice and take it to the next level. I find that these gentle classes are just as effective as the more difficult ones. So let's start off lying on our backs, finding the neutral position. So I'm really noticing how the pelvis can relax into the mat, and then noticing the curve of the lumbar spine, and which vertebra I can feel in between the shoulder blades, the curve of the neck, and the head relaxing down. So in this neutral position, we're going to do the breathing, probably the most important of all the Pilates fundamentals. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Slowly exhale and use the hands as if they're like a corset or a big belt to help you draw the stomach in, really exhaling all the air out of the lungs. And then again, inhaling. Just a few really deep breaths. Exhale, exhale, exhale. Notice how much you can draw the stomach in and how that helps squeeze all the air out of the lungs. So we're creating space for new air to come in and fill the lungs. Let's just do one more like that. And inhale. I'm going to take an imprint. So bring your awareness to that curve of your lower back, your lumbar spine. And as you exhale, pull the stomach in so deeply that that curve lengthens. And those vertebrae come closer to the mat. They might even touch the mat. And then inhale, let that go. Again, exhale. Drawing the stomach in, continuing to deepen the work of the stomach until you feel your lower back getting longer and coming towards the mat. And relax. Just do that a couple more times. It's a very small movement. You might not even be able to see it, but you should really feel how deeply the stomach is pulling in, and how long the spine is getting. Next time we do that, we're going to add a little pelvic curl. So as you exhale, draw the stomach in, lengthen the spine, and just lift the tailbone maybe an inch or so off the mat. And then release it back down, finding the neutral position. Again, imprint, and then continue to peel the tailbone just a little bit off the mat, drawing the stomach in even more, and releasing it down. Keep going a little bit more with that. Each time finding more sense of the connection of the stomach, the navel's drawing in, back of the waist is gently pressing into the mat. Next time I'm going to continue into the full pelvic curl. I'm going to start off exactly the same way, exhaling, drawing the stomach in, imprinting, lifting the hips, and then keep going vertebra by vertebra, lifting the hips up as high as feels good for you. We're going to take a breath in. Exhale, softening the chest and bringing your awareness vertebra by vertebra until we come back to that neutral position. Again, inhale, exhale, drawing the stomach in, lifting the hips up, pausing to take a deep breath in. And on the exhale, softening vertebra after vertebra back into the mat. Really trying to get so much mobility through each segment of the spine. And do that a few more times. Lifting up. And slowly rolling down, bringing lots of awareness into the movement of the spine. We're going to continue with the arms. So we're going to start the same pelvic curl. This time when we get there, we're going to reach the fingertips up, take them all the way back. Take a moment to pause, to breathe, and exhale, rolling down, thinking of reaching the fingertips in one direction and the knees in the opposite direction. Coming back to that neutral position, floating the arms back, pressing them gently into the mat. Again, rolling up. Arms reach up and back. Rolling down, softening. Arms come back. One more just like that, rolling up. Arms reach up and back. Rolling down. Bring the arms down. Next time we're going to roll up. Reach the arms up and back. We're going to stay there. And going to take a hip rotation. So allowing the left hip to come down towards the floor and up. And then the left hip and down. So you might want to take it pretty small. Or if it feels good, you can take the hips all the way so one side reaches towards the floor and the other side stays up high. It's a really nice big rotation. See what range of motion feels good for you right now. Let's do one more either side, really lengthening both sides of the body as you do this. Coming up, push the feet down, lift the hips just a little bit more. And rolling down, vertebra by vertebra. This time we're going to come to that neutral position. Clasp the hands behind the head. Lengthen the neck. Inhale. And as you exhale, just float the head a little bit off the mat. Stay there with that length. Inhale. As you exhale, draw the stomach in, and we're going to come to the chest lift. We're going to stay there. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, really draw the stomach in as much as you can. Lengthen the spine as much as possible. Bringing the head and shoulders all the way down. Inhale, lengthen. As we exhale, going to float the head up. Keep lengthening all the way to the chest lift. Going to stay there, feeling the area in between your shoulder blades, pressing down into the mat as your head comes up, maybe just a little bit more. And head and shoulders back down. Again, lengthening first and then engaging the muscles of the stomach to come up, and we're going to stay here. Breathe in, exhale, come up just a little bit more. Going to reach your arms forward, maybe even hold on to the legs, and then you can come up just a little bit more. Hands behind your head. And bring the head back down. And I bring my heels just a tiny bit further in towards the hips. Again, lift the head and shoulders up. This time we're going to stay there and take that little tiny baby pelvic curl and bring it down. So I'm thinking of lengthening the tailbone away from the top of the head and down. So you exhale, really scoop the stomach in and down. I'm going to take a seesaw movement. So keep the hips going up as you bring the head and shoulders down. And then lift the head and shoulders up and bring the hips down. Hips go up. Head goes down. Head goes up. Hips go down. I'm going to do just one more of those. Hips go up. Head relaxes down. Head lifts up. And hips come down and relax the head down. Let's bring the hands back to the stomach. This time we're just going to open the right knee to the side as we inhale. Exhale. Imagine that your pelvic floor muscles and your stomach muscles are bringing that knee back to center. So keep going with the right leg. Opening, inhale. So here, gravity is helping take the leg to the side. And exhale. The stomach muscles are helping bring the leg back. Opening and feeling the connection to the center as we bring the leg back. Let's do one more to the right. Inhale. And exhale, really getting that connection to the center. Keep the right leg where it is, and now we'll do the left leg. Open it, inhale. Exhale. How can the pelvic floor and the stomach muscles bring the leg back? Really using the mind-body connection. Inhale. Exhale, bringing it back. Twice more. Inhale. Let the knee open. Exhale, using the center to bring it back. One more. Inhale, open. Exhale, bring it back. This time, open the arms to the side. Widen the legs just a little bit more. Let the right knee open. This time, I'm going to keep the knee open. Push the left foot into the floor. Reach that left knee forwards. So the left side of the hips coming up. And then down. So it's like a little rocking motion, like a seesaw motion to the right and back to center. Right, back to center. Keeping the shoulders and the arms really relaxed. Let's take that over to the left. Open. Allow the left knee to drop open. Press the right foot into the floor. Right knee goes forwards and this right hip comes up. So it's a rocking to the left and back. And then bring that back. Widening the legs just a little bit more. And then both knees go over to the right. So the left knee is pointing in the direction of the right ankle. And again, using the center to come back. Other side, the knees go over to the left. Right knee in the direction of the left ankle. And then taking it from side to side. You might want to turn your head in the opposite direction to where your knees are going. Just to get that sense of spiraling through the spine. One more to the left. Let's come back to center. This time we're going to bring the knees and close them together. Clasp the hands behind your head. And keeping the knees together, take both legs over to the right. Inhale. As you exhale, we're going to bring the knees back and lift the head and shoulders up. Over to the other side. Inhale, opening the chest, opening the elbows, taking the knees as far towards the floor as feels good. And exhale, bringing it back. Inhale. Exhale, bring it back. Pull the stomach in, lengthen the spine. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. This time, keep the knees over to the right. We're going to lift the head and shoulders up and take little pulses. Exhaling out and out. Keep lengthening through the spine. Stay there just for another moment. And let's take the legs over to the left. Keep them there to lengthen the spine, bringing the head and shoulders up. And little pulses, exhaling out. And lengthening each pulse through the spine. And coming back. Hands back on the center. We're going to take a knee fold. So keep that neutral spine. As the navel draws in, allow the right knee to float up and float it back down. And then the left knee floats up. It's almost as if the legs are in water and they're floating. Let's do it one more time. The sense of deepening the leg in the hip socket as we do this. And down. And to the left. Float it up. And down. Next time I'm going to take the right leg up. Keep it there. Float the left one. And this time we're going to imprint the spine by really engaging the stomach. And take a toe touch. So as one toe touches towards the floor, the stomach goes in even more, and bring it up. And to the other side. You don't actually have to touch the floor, just go as far as you can while still maintaining that engagement. And if that feels pretty good, you can take it a little bit faster, little toe taps. And if you want even more of a challenge, you can do it with both legs together. So here you really need to use the center and bring the legs back. You can even lift the hips up a little bit to that little pelvic curl position. So choose a variation that makes you feel like you're really working your stomach in a way that's right for you today. Gonna do one more. And bring the legs back towards the floor. Clasp the hands behind the head. Lift the head and shoulders up. Float one knee and then the other knee. And same thing here, toe touch. So you might want to take it a little bit faster. And here again, if you want a little extra challenge, both legs together, down. And then bring the knees towards you as you lift your hips up. Lifting up. So one more time. And then head down. Legs are in a tabletop position. Open the arms and we're going to take side to side. So both knees over to the right. The left hip comes off the mat. And then on the next exhalation, draw your stomach in and feel your lower back spreading on the mat. And to the left, the right hip comes up and use the stomach to bring the legs back. So each time I'm trying to take the legs a little bit further while still maintaining the shoulders and the arms open and relaxed on the floor. Inhale, exhale, a little bit closer to the floor, using the stomach, so really feeling the oblique muscles engaging to bring the legs back. Stomach. Next time I'm going to go almost all the way to the floor, hover for just a second. Bring the legs back from the stomach and over to the other side, hovering for a second just off the floor and back. This time I'm going to go to the right, keep going all the way till the legs come towards the floor. Left hand's going to float up and then I'm going to reach it forwards, float it up, gazing towards the fingers as they open towards the floor on the other side, and then coming back. Going to do that twice more, reaching the left fingertips forwards, up, opening the arm, gazing in the direction of the hand, and up, and back. One more time, forwards, up. This time, going to stay there. Take a moment to really relax your shoulders and the muscles of the face. Let's go to the other side, taking the legs over to the left. This time the right arm's going to float up, reaching the arm forwards. Up, gazing in the direction of the fingers, opening towards the floor and coming back. Again, forwards, reaching forwards. Arm floats up, open, and coming back. Let's just do that one more time. Forwards, up, opening, stay for a moment, relaxing the shoulders and the muscles of the face and the neck. And let's come back to center. Left foot on the floor, can place the hands back on the stomach and reach the other leg up to the ceiling. So we're going to exhale to reach the leg down towards the floor, and then going to flex the foot and bring the leg up. Again, lengthening the leg away. As the leg lengthens away, drawing the stomach in. So you're using your hands onto the stomach to get feedback. That you're really pulling the stomach in and supporting the spine. Let's just do a couple more like that, reaching it away. The stomach draws in. One more time, reach really long leg. And let's switch, take the other leg up. Lengthening it away, so I'm engaging the muscles of the leg as the stomach's working. Flex, the leg goes back. Reach it away. And back. Trying to maintain that neutral position of the pelvis. Twice more. Let's just do one more like that. Reach the leg away. Bringing it back. Let's take the first leg up. Stretching it just to get a nice sense of length behind that leg. And if you need, you can soften behind the knee. You can take tiny little leg circles, hands on the floor and circling with your toes on the ceiling, using the stomach as an anchor so that the hips stay as still as possible. And let's go in the opposite direction. So it's a challenge to move the leg while keeping the hips stable. And change to the other side, so giving the leg a little stretch. Just breathing into that. With the arms by the side and the stomach as an anchor, drawing a perfect circle with the toes on the ceiling in one direction, and then changing other way. And noticing how still can we keep our hips. Place both feet back on the floor, hands behind the head, lengthen, and we're going to work a little bit more on the obliques. So bringing the right shoulder in the direction of the left knee, and we're going to take little pulses, trying to keep the right hip sinking down. Stomach in, and in, and in, and in. Stay there just for another moment. Coming back. Let's go to the other side, keeping the hips still. So I'm thinking of really dropping the opposite hip down, reaching the opposite elbow up, taking little pulses. Coming back. I'm going to float the left knee up. And again, taking those oblique reaches, deepening the work of the stomach, opening in between the shoulders. Coming back. Right knee floats up, left shoulder comes towards the knee. Little pulses, stomach sinks deeper and deeper down. And let's finish that off with a crisscross. Lift the head and shoulders up, reach one leg out long, and bring the opposite shoulder towards the knee. And to the other side. So we're taking it pretty slow to begin with. You should be feeling the obliques working. And change. And let's take it a little bit faster. Still maintaining that sense of deepening the stomach, opening in between the shoulders, and relax. Hugging the knees in, maybe swaying a little bit from side to side, taking a moment to allow the stomach to rest. And then lift your head up towards your knees. Hold on wherever you are comfortable, rocking up and down to come to a seated position. So you can sit in a cross-legged position or anything that feels comfortable and enables you to sit up with a long spine. And we're going to take a little ripple through the spine. So here, pull the stomach in as you round back. Inhale, coming forward. Coming back to noticing the breath. Exhaling. Inhaling. And circling. Let's go in the other direction. And coming back, noticing the sitting bones reaching down, connecting down into the earth. Let's clasp the hands, reach the head and the hands up towards the sky. So as much length through the spine as possible. And we're going to cross the hands across the chest to take a torso twist. So turning over to one side and over to the other side. Each time we're creating more and more length through the spine, as if the top of the head's getting closer to the ceiling. Let's just change the hand that's on top. And then next time we're going to stay to one side. One hand on the knee, one hand behind. And we're going to keep lengthening, lengthening, lengthening as we turn. And turn the head and the shoulders to look behind. Let's go to the other side. So you're using your hands to guide you, lengthening up as well as turning around. So come to center. If you're sitting in a cross-legged position like me, you might want to just change the cross of the leg. Reach one arm up, and we're going to take a side bend. So walk the hand onto the floor, and we're going to lift this hip off the mat. So we can take a deeper side bend. Try and keep the head where it is as you reach that hip back down. So again, we're taking a little rocking movement, and you're opening the ribs on this side. And next time we're just going to reach that hip down. Relax the head. Let's go over to the other side, up and over. And again, just a gentle rocking motion. As the hips come up, we can take a deeper stretch, and then we're going to try and stay there. Lengthen the hip back down. Rock and down. and down. Next time we're going to stay there, keep reaching the hip down away from the top of the head and coming back to center. Going to place the feet on the floor. Use the hands again to help lengthen as you inhale. As you exhale, half roll back, pulling the stomach in. So using the work of the stomach to open up those lumbar vertebrae. And coming back, inhale. Again, rounding, pulling the stomach in. And coming up. Going to do it again, this time reaching the fingertips forwards, navel back, as if the lower back wants to get a bit closer to the mat. Coming up. Again, pulling the stomach in, creating length all the way to the tips of the fingers. And coming back. One more time, this time rolling down all the way to lying on the mat. And from here, I'm going to turn to lying on one side. This bottom knee is bent. Find a position that you can relax the head on the arm. We're going to reach that leg away, slightly turn it in as you lift it up and down. So the heel is aiming to be higher than the toes. So an internal rotation. And as you lengthen and lift the leg up, that sense of drawing the stomach in and up. So we're creating loads of length through the spine, through the leg. Let's do that a few more times. And stay there, take little pulses up and up and up. Each pulse, the stomach is drawing in as well. And stay lengthened. Bend the knee. Keep the feet together. We're going to take a clamp. So open the leg, open the knee, and bring it back. Opening the knee, and down. I'm using my hand on my hip to help me maintain that sense of length through the spine. Lift and up. Lift. We're going to take little pulses up and up. Opening the knee up as far as I can. And down. Now internal rotation. So the knees stay together, the toes point up. And down. Lift the toes and down. Just a few more of those. And then little pulses up and up. Just trying to deepen the internal rotation. It might not feel like it's very much. We're trying to go as deep as we can. And relax. Take your hand to hold the ankle. You're going to take the leg back to get that opening on the front of the thigh and the hip flexors. Keep the spine long. Stay there for another moment. And then keep the leg where it is. Bring your fingertips back, and we're just going to swing the leg backwards and forwards a few times, getting as much mobility of the leg in the hip socket, and then circling the leg in the hip socket. And then the other direction. Really important to maintain the mobility of the leg in the hip socket. Just a couple more. And we're going to come up to a mermaid with a wide position. Have your hand on your hip, and you're going to spiral from the hips through the spine all the way to the head. And bring it back. And again, spiraling, looking over your shoulder, and bring it back. I'm going to spiral. This time place both hands on the floor. So you're opening, extending the spine, and walk the hands forward. Relax the head down. You can choose to stay here. You might want to take it a little bit deeper by going a little bit further. Or another nice option that I'm going to try is threading the needle. So thread this hand through. Just find the position that works for you, and we're going to stay there. Have a deep breath in and out. And let's switch over to the other side. So come to lie with your underneath knee bent, top leg straight, lengthening through the spine, and then turning that foot in so the heel's higher than the toes. And we're going to lift as we lengthen, pulling the stomach in. Reach it away. So this hip abduction movement is really important for the health of our knees and the health of our back, for balance, for stability. Just a few more like that. And then staying up, taking little pulses up and up and up, reaching the leg away from the top of the head and the top of the head away from the leg. So we're strengthening while creating length. Bring the knees together, and then keeping the feet close together, we're going to open the top knee and close. Opening and closing. So finding as much external rotation as we can while still keeping the hips still. And I'm just going to stay there and take little pulses out and out and out. And down. And then the internal rotation, knees together this time, lift the toes up and back. Internally rotating. How much movement can we find? And then staying there, taking little pulses, and just squeeze just a little bit more rotation. Using the hand to take the ankle, stretching the leg back, opening up the front of the thigh, lifting the stomach. So just take a few moments to breathe into that. And fingertips forwards, swinging the leg forwards and back. Really nice, easy motion of the leg in the hip socket, and then circling it around. And let's circle in the other direction. And coming up to a mermaid in an open position. With the hand on the hip, we're going to take a rotation that begins with the hips, through the spine, all the way to the head, and back. Rotating and coming back. And then placing both hands, walking them forward so that you're in a long, extended position for the spine. And then keep going, perhaps just staying there or moving a little bit more to the side. And the option I'm going to take is threading the needle, threading that hand through and breathing. So let's come to an all fours position, spreading the fingers, and we're going to round the spine. Stay here as you really scoop the stomach in, curl the tailbone towards the top of the head and the top of the head towards the tailbone. And then extending, opening the chest and the shoulders. Keep going in your own breath. Let's take one more just like that. Let's take the puppy pose, walking the hands forwards, keeping the tail up high, just really lengthening both sides of the body. Another deep breath in and out. Coming back to all fours, this time we're just going to try and isolate the lower part of the back, so just curling the pelvis and arching it. I'm trying to keep the upper part of the body, the upper back, pretty still and really focus on isolating the lower back. And then bring that to neutral. And we're going to try and bring the shoulders closer together, the shoulder blades, and open them. So protraction and retraction of the scapula, bringing the shoulder blades, trying to squeeze them together, and then spreading them, opening between them. Bringing the shoulder blades close and opening them. We're going to just take one more like that. Together and apart, and then we're going to try and keep them apart. Going to reach the left leg back, lift it up, reach the right hand forward and extend, really lengthen, and coming back. Other side, reach the leg, lift it up, trying to keep the hips square as you reach the opposite hand. Keep lengthening, maybe lift just a little bit more. And let's go again to the first side. Reach the leg, reach the arm. This time we're just going to tap down and reach up. Tap, and as you lift, lift the stomach. Another 3, 2, one more time. Tap, stretch, 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 and coming back. Let's go to the other side. Reach, lengthen, lift, tap down. Reach and lift, and down. Another 3, and 2. Last one, stay there. Reach, 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 and back. Onto the forearms. Draw the stomach in as if we're taking an inverse imprint. Stretch your legs out. So for a moment we're going to be in this forearm plank. Breathing into that. Bring the hips down to a Sphinx pose and pressing down with the forearms to open the chest, lengthening through the spine. And then maintaining that length as you come to lying with the hands underneath the forehead. Lengthen the right leg so long that it floats up off the floor. The hips are trying to stay neutral. And then to the other side. Reach it. Lift the left leg. And down. Lifting the right leg really long. Maybe we can lift it a little bit higher. And down. Left leg, lengthen, lift, keep lengthening, keep lengthening, keep lengthening. And down. Let's just do one more either side. Lengthen, lift. And down. One more time. And down. Reaching the arms back towards the sides of the body, reaching the fingertips back as we lengthen and lift the upper body. And if you like, you can also add the legs. So just going to hover and really lengthen, engaging the whole back body. And Again, reach, lengthen, lift, and down. And again, lifting. Just stay, hover like a huge bird. And down. One more time. Lift, lift, lift. And bringing your hands underneath the shoulders. Press down to open the chest, lift up. And let's stretch it out in a child's pose or a rest position. Take a moment to relax. We're going to come back to lying on our backs. So back to that little pelvic curl. This time we're going to lift the hips just a little bit and then arch the back. So it's posterior and anterior pelvic tilt. I'm going to take it into just like a little rocking motion, up and down, pushing the feet into the floor. So I'm focusing now less on engaging the muscles and just creating movement through the bones, through the skeleton. Now we're going to lift the right hip up towards the ceiling, and then the left hip and down. So one side stays into the floor as the other one lifts, and the other side. Just do that one more time either side, and then we're going to join the dots and take a circular movement. So you can imagine your hips are a bowl that's half full with water, and we want to move the water in a circular direction. It really helps me to imagine that sort of vortex, the movement of the water. And then changing the direction. Sometimes it takes a little bit more concentration on the other side. A couple more circles. Coming back to that neutral position. And now we're going to take nose circles. So the same circular motion as if you're drawing with a big pencil on your nose on the ceiling. Just noticing if you're really drawing a circle, how perfect can you make your circle? And then in the other direction. And then coming back to center, just bringing your awareness back to that sensation of the neutral spine. And you can choose to stay lying on your back, or you can join me coming to a comfortable seated position. And wherever you are, we're just going to come back to the breath. So as you inhale through the nose, feel the sensation of your rib cage expanding to the sides and to the back. And as you exhale, maybe a sense of more length through the spine. Take another moment to notice the breath. And as you breathe deeply, allow a very small smile to play on your lips, just the corner of your mouth, and gently turning up. And take as long as you want to notice the breath and smile into the breath. I hope you enjoyed doing this fundamentals class with me. And please subscribe if you haven't already done so we can do more classes together.